Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad you could make it. My name is Colleen. I am with Shine On Yoga. I have Miss Tricat here practicing with us today. And if you hear any whiny boys, it is Fritz on the other side of the door because he's not allowed in with Tricat. So today I do have a very strong practice for you. You shouldn't need a whole lot of props or anything like that. If you would like some props, you can certainly grab them. Some I would recommend: blocks, bolsters, blankets. If you don't have any of those things, don't worry. You don't necessarily need them. Just yourself is perfectly fine. You don't need any special equipment. And you don't need to have any sort of working knowledge about yoga at all either. I had a conversation with somebody today who has not ever tried yoga and is very intimidated to do it in a public setting. So in the privacy of your own home is a great option. So if you're joining me from home, welcome. We are going to start out in a nice, comfortable, cross-legged seat, or any seat of your choice. If you'd like to sit up on a blanket or a towel or a bolster, feel free to. Sometimes, if you're wondering why I say that, it's because sometimes if you lift your hips up a little bit, if you have any tightness in them, it helps to relieve some of that tightness. We're going to take just a few moments to sit here and just be with ourselves and to set our pin for our practice. Sometimes we come off the mat after doing a lot of other things and are just running from one thing to the next. So this is really your moment to drop in and to focus on yourself. So hopefully everyone has found their comfortable seat, grabbed any props you needed. We're going to take a moment here just to breathe. If you like to set intentions, if that's part of your practice, you can definitely do that here. As we take these nice, long, slow, deep breaths, really notice maybe the temperature of the air. So as you breathe in, notice the coolness as it passes through your nostrils. And then as you exhale, notice the warmth. Inhaling and exhaling, nice, full, big, deep breaths. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back body. Loosen your jaw. Relax your forehead. Let's take one more big inhale and exhale together. So inhaling. Maybe pause at the top. And when you're ready, go ahead and let it go. If your eyes are closed, you can blink them open. We are going to go ahead and transition to all fours into a nice tabletop position. Again, if you have cranky knees, you can always bring a blanket to pad them a little bit if your mat isn't super thick. This mat is not super thick, but my knees are okay. All right, so we're going to come into our nice tabletop position, knees underneath your hip points, hands stacked underneath your shoulders. And we're going to do a little spinal flexion, a little cat-cow. It is one of my favorites. So on an inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs. Look forward. Really lift your tail and your head. You're going to feel a nice big stretch in your front body. And then as we exhale, we're going to round through the back, pressing away from the mat, letting your head hang, your tailbone grow heavy. Cat pose. Inhaling for cow, and then exhaling for cat. Let's do one more round. And exhaling. And after that round, go ahead and come back to your tabletop position. We're going to sink our hips back towards our heels. And then from here, we're going to do a little side stretch. So walk your hands off the left side of your mat and bring your right hand to the top of your left hand if that feels right in your body. Otherwise, just get it as close as you can. And you're going to feel a nice big stretch through that right side body. And we're just going to hold here, take a few moments to breathe. After your next exhale, we're going to return to center, and then we're going to walk it to the other side. So over towards the right. See if you can bring your left hand on the top of your right hand. And again, you're going to feel a nice big stretch through your left side body. We'll take a moment here to breathe again. From here, go ahead and return back to center. We're going to come back up to our tabletop position. Make sure you're all set up. If you moved around at all, that's okay. We're going to stretch one foot back long and away, toes on the mat, and then our other foot long and away, toes on the mat, and we're going to press up away from the mat, coming into plank. Now you can always come into half plank if you'd like, lowering down onto the knees. Otherwise, we want to make sure there's one straight line from head to tail. And we're going to breathe here, and we're going to shake. Just warming up our core. We've got some core work later on. One more big inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to lift our hips up high and back, downward facing dog. Now it's okay if your heels don't touch. And if you'd like to take your dog for a walk, you can bend one knee and then the other, just getting a nice calf stretch in there. If that's not for you, you can also just be in stillness, really pressing away from the mat, breathing. And on your next inhale, we're going to look up at the top of our mat. We're going to make our way all the way up to the top. So I like to take little baby steps. Sometimes I crisscross, sometimes I don't. Yogi's choice on what you want to do. And we're coming into a forward fold. In this forward fold, make sure you have a slight bend in your knees. You don't want to lock them out, so slight bend here. On your next inhale, let's come up halfway. Keep a nice flat back here. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Feel everything stretch out. When you're ready, make sure your hands are planted into the mat. We're going to go back into that plank. So we're going to step one foot back and then the other. Again, you can be in a half plank or full plank, up to you. Breathe here, we're going to hold it. And on your next exhale, go ahead and lower all the way down to your belly. Come onto the top of your feet, onto your shoelaces here. And we'll lower our head down. We're going to come into a little baby cobra to start. So bring your hands underneath your shoulder points. Let those elbows tuck into the side. And on your next inhale, we're just going to slowly peel our forehead up and look forward. We're not coming up super high yet. We'll grow this. So take a few moments here just to breathe. And on an exhale, we'll lower our forehead down. Now from here, you can either go to all fours and then go into downward facing dog, or you can come with me and we're going to go through a plank and then up into downward facing dog. So on an inhale, go ahead and press away from the mat. On your next inhale, go go ahead and lift those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here just to breathe. Let those planks go. All right, after your next exhale, go ahead and make sure your left foot is firmly planted into the mat. We're going to lift those right toes up, keep them dialed down, so your hips are going to be nice and square to the mat. This is on an inhale. On your exhale, we're going to bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward, and then we'll step our right foot in between our palms. Go ahead and spin down on that back foot. Have it at a little bit of a 45-degree angle, and then using our core, we're going to rise up and come into a warrior two. So a couple things as we get set up, as we move through this. This is for all of my newbies here. This front leg in warrior two is going to be at a nice 90-degree angle. So if you're coming too far, you might want to back up a little bit. And you don't want that leg being too straight. It's okay if your thigh is not parallel to the floor. Mine is not. Something we're working towards. The other point that I want to make, just for our foundation, look down at that big toe. You should be able to see it. If you can't see it, bump that knee out to the corner of your mat. This back foot, you might have to adjust it a little bit, but it should be at a nice kind of 45-degree angle towards the left front corner of your mat. And your hips should be facing this long edge of your mat. Now you want to make sure, I'm going to move here. All right. So you want to make sure you're centered through your torso. We don't want to be drifting too far forward. We don't want to be drifting too far back. Nice and centered, your base is nice and strong. I think everyone has it now. So from here, hands can be on your hips. You can have them at your heart center, or you can stretch your hands out to either side. Imagine that you are pinching a pencil in between your shoulder blades. And then if you'd like, you can look over those right fingers. And we're going to take a moment here just to breathe. Feeling that strength in our legs. Some nice heat. When you're ready, we're going to drop our left hand down by our thigh here. We're going to take our right hand up and look at it. Keep your legs where they are, coming into a reverse warrior. Go ahead and breathe here. Keep your heart spiraling up towards the sky. From there, we'll go ahead and return back to our warrior two. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and spin our left hand forward. Go ahead and come down towards this front leg. Step your back leg in a little bit, and we're going to straighten our front leg. So back leg is in about halfway from where it was. Our front leg is straight, and we're just folding over this front leg, coming into pyramid pose. You're going to feel a nice big stretch through your right hamstring. And again, if this is not a good posture for you, you can grab some blocks and bring the ground up to you. It's perfectly acceptable. Take a moment here to breathe. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. From here, go ahead and bend through that right front foot. You can bring your torso to it. I'm going to back up my foot a little bit here so people can see. And then from here, maybe play with lifting that left foot up off the ground. Make sure your hands are planted into the mat or fingertips. And maybe you just lift that left foot up a little bit and just play with that. You can dip it up and down. Just playing here. Take a few breaths. And then after a few moments of playtime, we're going to take this left foot, maybe bring it in towards your center. Go ahead and step it back so you're in a nice lunge. So your front leg is still in that 90-degree angle. From here, we'll plant our left palm down. Go ahead and lift your right hand up to the sky, coming into a nice twist here. And we'll breathe. After a few breaths, we'll go ahead and lower that hand back to the mat. We'll step our right foot back to meet our left. We're back in plank. Take a few breaths. On your next exhale, we'll lower it all the way down to the mat, onto your shoelaces here, and on an inhale, cobra. If you'd like to grow your cobra, press into those palms, lift up a little bit higher. Make sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders. Roll those shoulder blades back. Shine your heart forward, cobra. Exhale, we'll lower it back down. Tuck those toes under. We're moving into downward dog, so all fours, or you can come with me through plank. We'll take a nice inhale here. Exhale, press away from the mat, plank. Another inhale. Exhale, lift those hips up high and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here to breathe, shake out your head and neck. When you're ready, we'll plant our right foot down. We'll lift those left toes up. Keep them dialed in. They don't have to be clear up here, so just dial in. Exhale, we'll shift forward, look forward, and then we'll step our left foot up to the front, keeping it in a nice 90-degree angle. Our back foot will spin onto that kind of 45-degree angle, and then we'll use our core to rise up and move into our warrior two on the opposite side. Now again, make sure your foundation is set up correctly. That way you can avoid injury. Look and make sure you can see your big toe. Nice 45-degree angle with that back foot. You're nice and centered. And then from there you can choose your arm placement. Take a few breaths here. When we're ready, we'll drop our right arm, lift our left palm up to the sky, take a look at it. Reverse warrior, breathe. We'll go ahead and return back for just a moment to that warrior two. And then when you're ready, we'll start to dial it down towards our front leg. Straighten through that front leg. We'll step our back foot in about halfway, and then you can fold over for pyramid pose. Take a moment here to breathe. Feel that nice stretch on the left hamstring. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. When you feel ready, we'll bend through that left front foot, and then maybe we'll play with lifting those right toes up off the mat. You can dip them up and down. You can just hold it there if you'd like. Playing with some balance. When you're ready, we'll bend that right knee in towards our center, and then we'll shoot it back, coming in to our lunge on the opposite side. When you're ready, we'll plant our right palm down. We'll spin our left palm up towards the sky for a nice twist and breathe. From here, we'll lower our left hand down and then just step that back foot up. And I'm going to come to face you guys here. So you're stepping your back foot up. Your feet are going to be kind of narrow, and you're going to start to sink your center down. We're coming into a nice big yogic squat. Now, if you're like, there is no way I'm getting down here with you, that's okay. You can be up a little further. It's okay. Go to where it feels comfortable to you. If you can get low, that's fine. Your heels might be up off the mat. You might have your hands on the floor. Do what works for you. If you are able to get your heels down on the floor, take your hands in this nice prayer position, and you can set them in between your knees and press away. Press in with your knees, press away with your arms. And you're going to have a whole lot of energy burning up through your mid-center. Breathe here, opening up our hips. Try cat a little pet here. One more big inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to stand all the way up. So if you're clear down here with me, we're going to really power it up. So, power it up. Whew. We're going to walk our feet in together. They don't have to be super together, but just in line with each other. And we're going to take a moment here just to relax in our mountain pose. Just breathe. Enjoy being off your wrists for a moment. You can circle them if you'd like. All right, we are going to get into a little balancing. I'm going to turn this way on my mat just so you guys can see me a little bit better. But we're going to start with some balancing. If at any time this is not going to work in your body, that's okay. Modify it for yourself to where, you know, it is doable for you. Don't try and push yourself. Do not hurt yourself, please. We are going to start with a one-legged Tadasana. I will start out facing you, but I'm going to turn to the side for the next move because we're going to move through them a little bit fast. We're going to kind of flow through them. So we're going to take this first one really slow. So for our one-legged Tadasana, it would also be a one-legged mountain. So right now, mountain. One-legged mountain is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to lift that right heel up. And for some, this is going to be enough. You can stay here. For others, we can start to lift that knee up and lift our foot off the mat. And we're going to hold it there. So that's a one-legged Tadasana. So we'll breathe. If you have to touch your toe down, that's fine. Kind of play with that. And then we'll go ahead and set that foot down for just a moment. The next time we go through that, we won't set the foot down. If you need to set the foot down, you can, but we'll try not to. The goal will be not to. For our second pose in that series, we're going to go into kind of a modified Warrior 3. So we did Warrior 2. We're going to move into a Warrior 3. So in Warrior 3, let's start out. If you're new to this, we'll kick that right foot back, hinge at your hips, kind of looking forward. So you want one flat line with your back. You're really engaging your core here. And then this might be enough for some people. This is enough for you, that's perfectly okay. If you'd like a little more, we can start to lift that right foot up off the mat. Keep the toes dialed down. Try to keep your hips square to the mat. Your hands can be back. They can be forward. You can have them at prayer. You can be gripping onto something. Whatever you need to do, go ahead and do it. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up to our mountain. So those two moves we're going to do together. If at any time you decide that this is not for you, go ahead and modify it and get some movement in. Just keep moving. All right, so we're going to do this 3 times. I'm going to do it with you, all right? We're going to go from a one-legged Tadasana straight into our modified Warrior 3. We're going to do it 3 times. All right. So inhale, we'll come into our one-legged Tadasana. Get your balance here. And then when you're ready, we'll start to shoot that right leg back. Go ahead and take any hand movements you'd like as we move into our Warrior Three. On your next inhale, we'll rise back up, coming back into our one-legged Tadasana. And then as we exhale, we'll move back into our Warrior Three. Take a breath here. Your next inhale, back into our one-legged Tadasana. And then exhaling, back into our Warrior Three. It's okay if you wobble. It's okay if you fall out. When you've had enough of that, we'll go ahead and come back to mountain. Take a breath here. Shake it off. We have another side to do, unfortunately, but you can play with that and have fun just moving back and forth. It's really going to fire up your core. It's really going to strengthen your legs. All right, so I'm going to move to the other side of my mat so you can see it from this side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to move a little faster though, since now we know what we're doing. All right, so inhale. Let's come to our Tadasana. One-legged Tadasana. We're going to do this 4 times because we did it 4 times on the other side. We want to be even. On our exhale, let's move into our version of Warrior Three. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly move up into our one-legged Tadasana. And back to our Warrior Three. Woo! Flying here. Inhaling, whoop. I fall out too. Inhaling, Tadasana. One-legged Tadasana, excuse me. Exhaling, Warrior Three. One more time. Inhaling, one-legged Tadasana. And then exhaling, Warrior Three. And then we'll come back to our mountain. Shake that off. Hopefully you guys are doing all okay with that. Let's get back down to the mat. Inhale, let's reach up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend at the knees, shift at the hips. We're going to dial it down into our forward fold. Again, you can use blocks here. Inhale, we'll come up halfway, flat back. And then exhale, let it go, forward fold. Take a moment here just to breathe. Let all of that go. That was a lot. When you're ready, palms on the ground, feet back, plank, half plank. Take a moment here to breathe. From here, make sure your right palm is underneath your shoulder. We're going to turn on the outer edge of our right foot, inner arch of our left. We're going to come into a side plank here. Now, you can kickstand that front leg in front or behind you. You can stack the legs. You can lift an arm. Maybe you want to lift a leg. We're going to breathe here. One more big inhale, and then exhale, we'll return to center, and then we're going to move it to the other side, outer edge of our left foot, inner arch of our right. Again, you can kickstand that front leg in front or in back. You can stack the feet. Maybe you want to lift the foot. Breathe. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. Take a breath in. Exhale it back to downward facing dog. Whew. Sigh that out. Shake that out. When you're ready, go ahead and lower onto your knees. Bring your knees as wide as the mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, sink those hips back. Walk your fingertips forward. Melt your head and your heart into the mat for a little child's pose. After your next exhale, go ahead and look forward. We're going to bring those knees in. You can walk them up. Swing those legs around to one side. We're going to come to lie down on our backs. We're going to do a little bit more ab work because we haven't done enough already, right? Let's do some more. And again, if at any time this does not work for you, then go ahead and make any adjustments in your body that you need. I'm just your guide for this. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. So just keep that in mind. All right, we're gonna go ahead, stretch your legs out long and away. I'm gonna scoot up here. There we go. All right, and then from here, we're gonna start with one leg lifted. You can bring your hands behind your thigh if you'd like, or what I sometimes like to do is I like to take my hands and just bring them underneath my sacrum here. That can help with your back a little bit. So we'll bring one leg up, and then we're just going to scissor bringing the other leg up and the other leg down. You may not go as low as I am. Your range of motion might be a little shorter. You might be a little bit more up here, and that's okay. Just make sure your back is not rounding up off the floor. We're going to do 8 sets of these scissors, okay? So when you're ready, we'll drop one leg, switch, 1, 2, 3, 4, halfway there, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. After our last one, keep your legs there. Now we're going to try and lower and lift both legs at the same time. We're going to go for 8, okay? Inhaling, lower those legs, and then exhale for 1. Inhale, lower, exhale, 2. Go ahead and do this on your own breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, whew, my legs are shaking. 7, whew, one more. 8. Go ahead and lower those knees down. Let go, let your arms go. Maybe give them a shake. Give yourself a little hug here. Take a nice big deep breath. Maybe roll around on your back a little bit. All right, enough of the hard stuff. Let's start to cool it down. We're going to open up our hips again. We're going to go into a move called Happy Baby. Again, I'll try and modify it for you the best I can. Now, if you can't grab the edges of your feet, you can grab the edges of your pant leg or maybe just behind your thighs. Now, if you're able to, we're going to grab the edge of our foot and then we're going to kick our foot up towards the sky. But we're going to do that with both feet. Happy baby. Now, if you'd like in happy baby pose, you can kind of roll around on the floor. You can stretch one leg out and then the other, just kind of back and forth. Whatever feels good to you. Make sure that your tailbone is really lengthened. I'm just going to breathe here. All right, when you're ready, we're going to let that go. Stretch your left leg out long and away. Bring your right leg in towards your chest. Give it a nice little squeeze there. And then on your exhale, we're going to take our right leg across our midline. Go ahead and extend that right arm out at your side. Look over at your right hand, coming into a little supine twist. Should feel nice on your lower and mid back. When you're ready, we'll come into center. We're going to switch our legs. So right leg extended. Give your left leg a squeeze into your heart center. And then we're going to go into that twist on the opposite side. So left leg is going to cross that midline. Send those left fingers out long and away. I'm going to pet Chai Cat here. Now when you're ready, we'll return to center. Extend out that left leg. Take up space on your mat. Snuggle those shoulder blades underneath your heart center. If it feels safe, you can close down the eyes. If not, then just soften your gaze. And we are going to close out our practice in Shavasana, or the corpse pose. So take a moment here just to breathe, to thank your body for everything it did for us during this practice. This was not an easy one. I am going to go quiet for a moment, but know that I am here and that I'm holding space for you, and I will guide you out of this final posture when it's time. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, then you can stay as long as time allows. If you would like to transition out of the pose and start to wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing some life back into them. When you feel ready, you can place one foot on the mat and then the other. Keep the knees bent. From there, I invite you to roll over to your favorite side. Go ahead and come into a little fetal position. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Finally, whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and return to a comfortable seat of your choice. Bring your head and neck up last. If your eyes are closed, you can blink them open to the room around you. Take a breath. So I hope everyone enjoyed that practice. Thank you so much for the hearts on the live. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining me on this live practice today. I plan to be back next week with a brand new practice. So if you enjoyed this one, then you can follow me or whatever it is on TikTok, and then that should notify you. Also, if you are new here, all of these practices do end up on my YouTube channel, and the link for that is in my bio. It is Shine On Yoga LLC, so every week there's a brand new practice. All of my old practices are there. It's 100% free, so if you're interested, definitely check that out. Those of you watching the replay on YouTube, thank you so much for practicing with me. If there's anything that you'd like to work on, any certain poses, please let me know. I do try and incorporate them into practice. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and a great week. And I hope to see you guys again next time. Namaste. All right, want to say bye to them, Ty? Want to say bye to everybody? Say bye.